Rich Rod and company are not done yet, as some transfer portal visitors will be coming into Morgantown over the next week. I have learned. That's exciting. Let's talk about it, man. Let's go.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, guys? Welcome back in. My name is Mountaineer Paul. I am your host here. Welcome back into Locked On West Virginia, baby, where we're talking Mountaineer football again tonight. And, of course, we're doing so right here on Locked On West Virginia, where we're talking about your team every single day. Going to be brought to you by our friends. And we do love our friends, don't we? Can't be no better without our friends at FanDuel. And right now with FanDuel, guys, it's $5 is going to make you come holla, or the college football playoff. That's right. It's here. And FanDuel is the best place to get in on the action all playoff long. So visit your FanDuel.com website today to get your college football playoff profit boost every game day. Thanks for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen, and for being a part of the Locked On Podcast Network, where we're talking about your team, the Mountaineers. The Mountaineers every single day. I was feeding my cat. Sorry. So I had to do that, and also had a couple technical issues. Welcome, first-time viewer Derek Maluzio. I appreciate you for being here. Usually we have a lot of the same people that come around a lot, so you're very welcome here. Everybody welcome Derek on in. Guys, obviously, it's been a weird – I don't know why and whose idea it was to put the dead period in the middle of the transfer portal offseason. That has to be a mistake. It just defies logic. It makes no sense. I don't understand it personally, but it is what it is, right? So visits had to stop. All motions had to stop. Maybe these coaches needed a break. But the phones, I'm sure, were ringing between agents, and that's how I learned this news today. I've spoken to 4 or 5 different agents. As you guys know, I've become really friendly with the agents. I had Devin Vass's agent on the show a week ago, something along those lines. And Dan over at Influencer Council, who does an amazing job. And while I didn't learn this information from him, somebody like him, right? And West Virginia set to host at least 3 or 4 people that I know of over the next week. And we do know about one of them, and gosh, if I could remember how he pronounces his name. Hold on, I'll go to my messages. Let's see. Well, Colin Remanowski, the fullback coming in. He is one of them, but outside of him, there are others. And so while I can't mention who they are, because I've learned that, having even a small platform like I do, sometimes it's just best not to share certain things. And so I'm going to let the university share that whenever they want to do it. But I will point out some things that can help us along here. And, obviously there are some positions of need that West Virginia have been looking at, and obviously have missed on a couple guys, or they either missed on them or chose not to take them. I'm going to lean towards they probably missed. We know that West Virginia was involved with Jalen Thompson, the Michigan State defensive end. That did not work out. There was also Jamon Tapp, who has been everywhere. He's been Arizona State. He's been to Southern Miss, and he was looked upon as a very good edge rushing defensive end. And then he followed his coach to Memphis. And we saw that West Virginia was involved with numerous other people on the back end, whether that was one of the Michigan safeties, one of the Oklahoma safeties, or an Oklahoma linebacker, and Sammy O. We saw that they were involved with these people, and they missed on all of these people in one form or another, whether that was because of locale, whether that was because of finances, or whether that was because of pitch. West Virginia missed on these players. Now, West Virginia's missed on a lot of players. So has Alabama. It's just the nature of the game. And hold on, I got to plug my computer in. It's just the nature of the game. And unfortunately, West Virginia just happens to be public because so many of us follow them, and some West Virginia probably has as many podcasters for their football team as anybody in the country. So we have a large community of people that do this for West Virginia, and a couple of us are medium sized, right? So we have a decent followings that watch us. So the news gets around is what I'm saying. So, I think there's a couple of things we can look at. We can look at what's come in. We can look at who's left, right? And we can kind of, make a couple guesses, very educated, on where West Virginia is going to keep on hammering, right? Let's look over the depth chart as it is now, right? I think that'd be something fun to do. Obviously there'll be a lot of oars on this list, but I do want to look over it. And we'll cite some deficiencies, like, okay, where would West Virginia be looking, right? One in the portal to bring some people in. Also, we're going to be looking at some tape. I've got tape on 3 transfer portal players. I've got Wes King's tape from Wyoming. I've got Kamari Wilson from Memphis. And I've got the kid from UNLV as well. Who else do I have here? Yeah, that's Kamari Wilson too. So we've got some tape. I've got some plays that they made. I've been watching tape all day. So let's watch a couple Wes King clips against Colorado. We'll watch a couple clips of Kamari Wilson against Arkansas. I tried to get the best competition along with the best results that the player individually had. So, to try to make it fair for him. But, because I did one where Kamari Wilson only had 1 tackle. It's like, so I'm like, I'm not going to watch the entire game to see him make 1 tackle. Obviously, you can watch the coverage too, but he's just not as involved in their passing game like I thought he would be. We'll talk about it in a minute. So we're going to do that too. But let's look over this depth chart. At quarterback, obviously, you bring in Michael Hawkins Jr. out of the transfer portal from Oklahoma. You have Scotty Fox. You still have Max Brown, which I'm surprised to see. Jaron Hughley, John Johnson, and Wyatt Brown. Obviously, the first 3 are probably set for now. I'm going to lean towards Wyatt Brown, guys. I think that's probably an unpopular opinion because Jaron Hughley was so good in high school, and so is John Johnson. But I'm just telling you right now, Wyatt Brown, just keep on the lookout for him. I do expect him to make an impact at West Virginia at some point. I don't know when it's going to be, this year, next year. He's going to have a Scotty Fox type rise, I feel. At running back, you bring in Cam Cook. You have Amari Latimer, Christopher Talley, Martavis Boswell, Lance Autry, and Sir Paul Cheeks. What an explosive running back room. And I don't think anybody in the country knows it yet except Cam Cook, right? We know about Amari Latimer. We know about Christopher Talley, Martavis Boswell. Autry and Cheeks are good too. Obviously, Sir Paul Cheeks is extremely talented, but he's coming off a knee injury. In the wide receiver room, you've got Teron Francis and Prince Strawn coming in from USC and LSU. Then you've got Drum, Malachi Thompson, and Charlie Hannafin coming in from high school. Jaden Bray should be back as a redshirt senior with John Nider, DJ Epps, Keon Hutchins, Cyrus Traw, and Robert Oliver in the wide receiver room along with Armani Weaver, Kedrick Triplett, Greg Wilfred, and Cam Pitchford. A lot of wide receivers on this team, and we'll see if any of those guys can shine through. Obviously, we need Teron Francis to be an absolute dude, like a number one for us to really, I think, hit our ceiling this year. Tight end room, you've got Josh Sapp, Cam Ball coming in, both SEC Clemson ACC, Cam Ball from the SEC. Ryan Ward is the obviously the mainstay at tight end. Then you've got Cade Bush, Carter Zuliani, Sam Hamilton, and Xavier Anderson, all coming in, a mixture of guys that have been here and a couple freshmen. On the offensive line, you've got obviously Nick Cray, who's the mainstay at left tackle, 6'6", 316. You've got Cameron Griffin coming in, who played a little tackle at Jack State, but I think he'll slide inside. You've got Jonas Muya, the 6'7", 280-pound freshman, and Aiden Woods as well coming in. At left guard, You have Amari Grayson, who one of the best players in the portal that we could have gotten for the system we run from Jack State. Wes King, who we'll watch film on today, who's just a brute. Rhett Morris and Cam Goforth coming as freshmen. At center, you have Josh Isosa and Landon Livingston. I do think those guys will be centers. We'll see, but that's my guess for now. At right guard, you've got Devin Vass, Phillip Bowser, LaMarcus Dillard. At right tackle, you've got Kevin Brown, Carter Cassidy, Malik Ogbo, and Deshaun Woods, and that's going to be a really competitive room there. Defensive tackle, you've got 3. Corey McIntyre, Taylor Brown, and KJ Henson. I think I've told you guys KJ Henson is a very talented JUCO player that I expect to make an impact. Think Dante Stills. That's his skill set. And we'll see what he ends up being for West Virginia. I like him, but, man, you need bodies in that room. At nose tackle, you've got Nate Gabriel, who I like a lot. You've got Jalen Thomas, who I really like a lot, the JUCO. You've got Will LeBlanc coming in as a transfer. You've got Cam Mallory and Yender Mack both coming in as freshmen who just aren't ready yet. So maybe Cam Mallory is, but Yender Mack is not. Defensive end, Wilnerson Telemack comes in. He'll be a redshirt freshman, and you hope he can take a step. We need him to take a big step. Darius Wiley coming in as a redshirt freshman is going to be an interesting one, who was a very good JUCO player last year on one of the best teams in all of JUCO football. Actually, the best team in Hutchinson. Brandon Caesar, another highly touted freshman from last year, will be coming back, and Camden McGillespie, the freshman. Our defensive end room is so depleted right now that this is where I wanted to get to anyway. You know, West Virginia doesn't need one. They need 2 big guys and I don't know how they're going to get them. You've missed on some of the best that are out there. There are still multiple defensive ends out there, multiple that are good, but it's coming down to the crunch of it. West Virginia, I'm sure, has some set up for visits. Hopefully they don't have to go in conventional and bet on some guys, but it's starting to get to the point to where I'm a little concerned about the defensive end room. So that is a room I think West Virginia obviously needs to add in, and I know they know that. I'm not sitting here saying anything that they don't know. But I will say, you know, let's just go ahead and watch it because I think, for me anyways, this is going to be one hell of an interesting battle in there because, you know, if it ends up being who's in the room, it's going to be a very young room and possibly exploited at times. I like Darius Wiley. I think he can be good. And Telemack and Caesar both have the potential to be good. They were both highly sought after. But, I mean, you're asking a lot of redshirt freshmen. The entire room is either freshmen or redshirt freshmen. It's by far the biggest need on the team at this point. On the edge, you get Harper Holloman and David Afogo that come in from portal. You've got Jeremiah Johnson, Noah Tischendorf, and Carter Kessler. Jeremiah Johnson's a redshirt freshman or redshirt junior. Sorry, coming in as a JUCO, but Tischendorf and Kessler are freshmen. So that's another room you could add another body to and wouldn't blink an eye. Linebacker Stolsky, obviously coming in. Ashton Woods, who I really love. He's been injured. Isaiah Patterson, who his UNLV footage is really good, and Cam Torber, who I think is going to be a star. If you haven't heard the name Cam Torber before now, remember it going forward. I do believe Cam Torber will be a star someday. Just keep that in mind. Remember I said it. Malachi Hood coming in from Illinois with Ben Cutter, Antoine Sharp, Trey McLaughlin, and Cam Dwyer, all freshmen. I really like Cam Dwyer as well as one of our freshmen. Ben Cutter is a guy that obviously I think has a lot of talent, but, you know, he kind of is what he is at this point. Malachi Hood gives you some athleticism, definitely, but I still think you need another really athletic linebacker, and I'm worried about that room a little too. Defensive backs, you've got Kamari Wilson, Nick Taylor, Julian Horton, and Ricky Giles. Obviously Kamari Wilson we'll be watching tape on here in a bit. At the nickel spot, you've got Miles Cottrey, Emery Snyder, Safety, you've got Matt Sig, Kamari Williams, Jalen Ballard. And at corner, you've got Jameer Latimer, Chams Diagne, Carmarius Bomar, Damon Allen, Rashawn Reynolds, the 2 junior college transfers. You've got Andrew Paladrell, who we will watch tape of today, Keyshawn Robinson, Vincent Smith, Malik Hawkins, the transfer from Oklahoma, Mekhi Boone, and Samaj Hill. So, I think, there are multiple rooms you could add in, but I think at the end of the day, you really need to get better at linebacker and defensive end, and potentially corner or safety as well. I definitely think the defense needs more additions than the offense, although one more big-time wide receiver would make me very happy on offense personally, because I think, you're asking a lot of Teron Francis to become proven, and if Jaden Bray doesn't come back, what do you do then? You're talking about it gets scary on the wide receiver room out beyond that. All right, let's go to break here. I've gone over a bit. Let's talk about these 3 transfers. Paladrell, Kamari Wilson, and Wes King. We'll watch some tape on all of them here. Little rapid fire tape style here. Right after the break, right here in Locked On West Virginia. You'll be impressed. All right, guys. We are going to talk about our friends, and we love our friends, of course, at FanDuel. And right now with FanDuel, the college football playoff is here. We got the national championship game coming up. And FanDuel is giving all customers even more ways to get in on the action every single game day of the playoffs. Because right now, every college football playoff game day, FanDuel users get a profit boost waiting for them in the app. Because right now, every college football game day is what you're going to be watching, right? Well, here's what I love about it. You get to use that profit boost on the bets you already feel good about. Ride with the favorite team you think is going to control the matchup. You can take a shot on the underdog, or you can build a parlay around the players and moments you think decide the game. Then you just apply that profit boost and go after even bigger winnings. And when you win, FanDuel pays that thing out instantly, which is perfect for playoff football. Do me a favor, guys. FanDuel is the best place to get in the action all playoff long. So visit FanDuel.com to get your college football playoff profit boost every game day. And, of course, in segment 2 where we crack a do, I did drink water today. I have drinking a couple bottles of water today because you guys asked me to. But I am cracking a do for segment 2. I can't believe how much feedback I got on that the other day. I did drink water. All right. Hey, Fester, what's up, man? I'm glad you're here, brother. I'm glad you're here. Fester is one of the best people I know. All right. So Fester is just an awesome guy, man. I really appreciate him being in here. Okay. So, I think we're going to watch some tape now. Obviously, I teased it around. Let's start with Kamari Wilson. He made some plays against Arkansas, man. He had one hell of a day against the Razorbacks. And I want to show you guys a couple of plays by him that really are impressive. And he's number 24 in the very back. And here he is running up, and the guy tries to hurdle him. Pretty impressive there. Watch it again. Number 24 behind the ref. This is the safety we just brought in from Memphis. So he is a very physical downhill tackling style inside the box safety. He's not a cover guy, in my opinion. He struggles in coverage. Just going to be honest with you. But I mean, as far as the tackler goes, he's very good. I mean, he can. It's not like he can't cover, but he's definitely a more physical style of safety, and they took him off the field in covered situations. So, as you can see, that play was actually designed for somebody else. And then, yeah, I think he gets an interception here against Arkansas. We'll have to roll it back and let you see it again. But yeah, so here he gets an interception against Arkansas. So he was in coverage there. And he did a good job for sure. Definitely did a good job. Let's see, on this play, it looks like I'm circling him with my mouse. And yeah, there's that same interception. So good play by him. Here he is again. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He makes a nice play here coming up. Watch this hit. Boom! Absolutely took the dude out on that play. Here it is from the other angle. Watch him take out the quarterback on this play. I mean, he absolutely comes up and drills the guy. You start to see him come into frame right about here he comes. Boom! So that was a nice hit from Kamari Wilson. One more clip of Kamari Wilson here. Let's see. Yeah, look at there's another big hit inside. We'll watch it one more time so you can see where it's coming from. Here is Wilson. You see him coming across your middle. And then he drives on the ball. Boom, knocks it free. Or no, actually he caught that, but lets you know he's physical in the middle of the field. That's the kind of player you're getting. I could definitely see him playing that hybrid nickel role. I wouldn't, and I mean, I didn't mean to show that play, but there's an example exactly of what I meant. Watch him. He does struggle in coverage, man. This is what I was going to tell you guys about. Watch him get dusted on this play. I mean, he's really got dusted on that play. And that's against Arkansas, who has elite talent, right? But I think, at West Virginia, I don't think he's going to play deep safety. He's too slow. So I love him as an inside the box safe run support type safety. Excuse me. And I think that's what he'll be. I don't think they're going to put him back there on the island. If they do, we better have a good pass rush because he's going to get beat sometimes. He's kind of like Fred. He'd be like putting Fred Perry back there. Like Fred Perry is not fast enough to take on tight ends and safeties. And that's just one play. Everybody gets beat. I'm not saying I wasn't even meaning to show you that play, but it is an example of what I meant. Paladrell from UNLV, exact opposite. He can absolutely fly. 10, 400-meter guy. We'll watch a couple plays from him. Here they're bringing him off the edge, and this is what he'll do at West Virginia. He's going to cause havoc. He's a little undersized at corner, 5'10", 190, but he makes up for it in feistiness, physicality, and spunk. And watch him bring him off the edge here against a really good not a good UCLA team, but against the Power 4 team in UCLA. You'll see him coming off the left side here, number 4, and get a sack on Nico Maliaba. So that's a nice play from him. Actually, I think he may have caused a fumble there too. Here you'll see him again. I think he comes in the screen here. There he is coming off the edge again. And you see he makes another great little play in the backfield on the running back. He's so quick, man. Watch him come off the edge here, number 4. Right past the right side, the tight end on your right. There he comes, bends around the edge and makes a great little play in the backfield. And I think that's how he'll be used at West Virginia. He's got a lot of speed and explosion. There's a reason he started at Florida. And as I watched tape on him, I began to see he can play in coverage. He's a good tackler, not an elite tackler. But, a lot of times he has to use his body, like in this situation, to make the tackle. But where he's good is one-on-one in coverage. He's pretty good. And as far as overall speed goes, he'll be one of the fastest guys in our team, in my opinion. He can really run sideline to sideline. So look out for Paladrell as we go along here. And then we've got Wes King, one of the guards we brought in from Wyoming. This is him against Colorado. So I decided, at least he's playing Power 4 players here. And he really showed out in that game. Wes King's another guy that is going to be hard to keep off the football field. Really strong at the point of attack. I would say overall athleticism for him. Is he is he the most athletic guy? No. Is he strong as hell? Absolutely. And I think this is on play from him. That right there makes my heart sing. Not only does he use the shoulder to help on the double team block, he peels off and seals and creates a great alley here. Watch the Colorado, by the way. This might be the other angle of it. Yeah, West Kiss. It was play after play after play. Devin Vass was just dominating people. I don't remember what this play is exactly. But, Devin Vass, we had probably 20 or 30 plays from him where he just absolutely dominated the Utah front. Solidified in my mind that it's going to be almost impossible to not start him. We played some Amari Grayson as well. Amari Grayson's another guy that how do you not start him? It's going to be really tough based on the Jack State footage anyway. So, you're just looking at all these guys, man, like they've done a good job of bringing folks in. I would be really surprised if let's see, we got some Vass here. If some of you guys haven't seen Devin Vass, we'll play a couple of them really quick. Let's see, that's a minute 33. We'll try that one really quick. So we'll play a little Devin Vass right after the break, guys. Stick around on Locked On West Virginia. All right. Yeah, we got a receiver from USC. His name is Prince Strawn. He only had one catch, though. So if you go back to his Boise footage, which I tried to get it, but all I could get was 2025 footage. So, which was last year. So it would do me no good to get his footage from last year. But yeah, Strawn has got a lot of ability. He's a very Bryce Ford Wheaton type guy, and I definitely think he's got the potential to be one of our top 3 receivers or something. But I wonder sometimes, when a guy has one catch like that, and even though he got hurt, and I know he did, I'm hesitant after a guy has a bad year, I guess, to put a lot of faith into him. But I do think he can come in and contribute for West Virginia for sure next year. We'll see what happens, especially if hopefully Jaden Bray's healthy. That's one we all know, like, we need it badly to be legit, because Jaden Bray he was on pace to have we probably wouldn't have been able to keep him. I believe that. I think Jaden Bray would have been gone. He's 6'3". He's 220 pounds. He can run like a deer. He runs great routes. He's physical. And it's his dang feet are betraying him. It's so sad. It's literally like, it's like what Kevin Durant had, or I'll tell you a good one. What's the guy that played for Ohio State? The big center that everybody, Greg, whatever his name was, everybody thought he was going to be the next great thing. And then his feet just couldn't stay healthy because he's so big. Here's some Devin Vass footage for those of you who haven't seen him yet at Kansas State. This is going to be our starting guard next year, 100%. Like, I'll bet anybody $100 Devin Vass is going to start for us next year, and just figure it out from there. I do think Cray and Livingston have the upper hand. And how do you not play Brown? So, like, it's definitely not easy to figure out the best 5 when you start to look at it. Like, it's difficult. I don't admire whoever has to. But my point was this: do you want to have 2 guards that are a little bit similar in Wes King and Devin Vass on the same starting 5? Because Wes King and Devin Vass are very similar. They're neither one of them are elite athletically like Amari Grayson is. Amari Grayson's an incredible athlete at guard. And if you look at him, he doesn't even look like a guard. He looks like Mark Henry, like a bodybuilder. You know what I mean? So I just wonder, does it hurt your offensive line if you've got 2 dudes that are really strong at the point of attack and good in pass protection, but not necessarily the best athletes to pull and move, get in space with? When you run zone, and we do run a lot of zone, I wonder about that. This is what I don't know. The combination of Vass and King will be great at guard, which is why I think Vass and Grayson will probably be the guards, but we'll see. Because this footage here from Vass is just so elite. He dominates the absolute crap out of Utah, and it's not just Utah. I went and looked at every piece of film he's got now, because I was like, man, why did he start the last 7 games? Well, it makes sense now. Yeah, he only got the last 7 games, but them 7 games were so damn good. No wonder that Kansas State wanted him. They should have just paid him, because he's worth what we paid him, which I can't divulge, but we paid him a good amount, guys. He got paid. He deserves it. I'll just tell you, this dude can really go. And I mean, this is all in run protection, run blocking, and he's really good in pass pro as well. I mean, watch him drive that guy up the field 5, 7, or 8 yards. And God, Avery Johnson is so athletic. But yeah, I mean, time and again, you see Vass, and he's always on the winning end of these plays, whether that's body positioning or just out muscling somebody. I mean, look at him wash that dude down. He's driving him totally out of the screen right now. So it's impressive to watch Vass go. And we watched West Virginia get obliterated by this defensive line. Look at that little reach block. And then, I mean, you know what they did? They ran Avery off of it. So here they are down towards the goal line. And boom, one-on-one, and he just destroyed his guy. They ran right behind him and touchdown. Thank you. Devin Vass, man, I'm so excited about him at guard next year for us. So we'll definitely see what happens. It's going to be fun. I think the offensive line is going to be much improved. Think about how much better he's going to be after learning from Rick Trickett all summer. It's going to be good. So we'll see. I'm trying to get more tape on it. Greg Oden, that's right. I'm trying to get more tape. It's difficult because there's only certain tape available. And I wish I had tape for every single player in game. I would pay for it. Whatever the fee is, I would pay it. $100 a month, I would pay it because I'm obsessed with watching tape. But and it would give me endless content too, so it'd be worth it. But if you know anybody that's got all 22, Lidswell, you're obsessed with me being overweight, don't you, buddy? I appreciate that offer. I'm not sure exactly what that is, so you might have to inbox me. That's something you private inbox me. You know what I mean? I'll give you my email if you want to email me. Hold on one second. I'm not saying that you're not. I'm not saying you're being rude. I'm just saying, I would rather talk about that privately. It's not something I'm going to talk about on my show. All right, so I want to do another show tonight, but I don't know what to do it on. I'll try to figure something out. I've got more game tape I can go through. I might be able to do some game footage on, who do I have? I think I got one more guy. I'm trying to remember who it is. We'll figure it out. Otherwise, guys, thanks for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen and for making us your the number one sports podcast in the nation. 50 million views a month. It's crazy, and it keeps going up. We're excited about that too here. We'll see you guys on the next one, though, here on Locked On West Virginia. I've still got to do an Oklahoma State video too, so we'll figure it out tonight. But I'd like to get to another one if we can tonight here. But until then, thank you so much for being awesome, guys. And we'll talk to you on the next one. Q Country Roads.